You are 13 years old, you are building a business, and most people at 13 years old are worried about their homework, but you are worried about fixing the education system.
Currently, the skills that we learn in school would have helped us maybe 50 years ago. When you're in school, you have a more first-hand experience of what it's like, so then I can shape the business based on what school's like.
So you're just essentially using school as customer research?
Sort of, in a way, yeah.
Smart.
I feel like TikTok's very 40-year-old Dan from Western Sydney. It shouldn't be up to the government to decide what all people under 16 do.
Tell me a little bit about what you're building now.
I'm building an online education platform that teaches teens real-world skills that they don't learn or rarely learn at school. Content creation, tech, AI, coding, mindset, productivity. And you learn from like creators, entrepreneurs, innovators that are really good at what they do, or they've like actually done it in their field.
A lot of people that would be listening to this would go, you're 13 years old, surely like your mum and dad are helping you out and doing all of the heavy lifting and the work. How much are mum and dad involved?
0. I would script a video the night before, I go to school, I film it, I edit it, and I post it.
If I gave you the microphone, there's the Minister of Education on the other side of this microphone, and you had 60 seconds, what would you tell them? You posted a video recently that talks about negative videos outperforming positive videos. Tell me what you mean by that.
I think, obviously, the name of the video, like negative videos do better than positive videos, in my opinion, in terms of engagement, because, you know, the world's pretty negative. Like you go on the news and a lot of the news articles are negative.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think a main reason is someone always has a different opinion to you. So I talked about not necessarily just negative, controversial content. So I talked about a while back the Australia banning social media, and that got a lot of engagement because a lot of people have different views on the topic. So a lot of people disagreed, a lot of people agreed. There was a lot of mixed reactions. So I think, having negative videos do drive better engagement. Plus, it's just a scroll stopper. If someone shows an achievement, people will look at it like it's just another achievement. Whereas if it's negative, it's sort of relatable. Because our world is so negative, it's relatable in a way.
Yeah. How do you deal with, I think one of the biggest things that people struggle with is putting themselves out there because they're putting themselves up for criticism, right? They're putting themselves up for people to judge them or cast an opinion. How do you feel about it when people disagree with your content or disagree with what you share? Like, does that affect you?
Not necessarily. I mean, people have their own views and opinions, but again, it is social media and there's billions of people that use it. But, you know, if someone disagrees, that's their opinion. I have my opinion. But, yeah, I think people getting affected by criticism, you shouldn't be affected by it because it's just someone else's opinion and everyone has different opinions. So, yeah.
Yeah, my favourite quote is like, you can be the juiciest peach in the whole wide world and there'll still be somebody that doesn't like peaches.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't matter how juicy you are, it's still going to be somebody that doesn't like peaches. Yeah. Now, you also spoke about creating a piece of content or stop getting ChatGPT to come up with your ideas.
Yeah. You
just spoke about it before. Why should people not use large language models to come up with their ideas?
Yeah, as you said, not necessarily ChatGPT, but all AI language models. I think it's because AI, you know, it just scans the web. It scans what's data's been given to it. So usually the ideas are very bland and, you know, not juicy enough. So I think when you come up with ideas and scripts and stuff out of your own brain, it's usually a lot more unique and from what I've seen just gets better engagement because it's the most authentic version of you. It's not an AI because AI is not a brain, it's a tool. So you can come up with your own ideas and use AI to refine it, not necessarily come up with your ideas.
Yeah. So how would you say if someone wanted to use AI, how could they use it to help them with their ideas? Or how do you use it?
I usually put in a bunch of ideas that I've had and or sort of broad ideas. I want to talk about this and get AI to sort of refine them and give me ideas. But yeah, you need to find your overall idea for a video, and then you can sort of ask AI to create more details and really refine your idea.
Yeah, I love that. Now, you spoke before about the creator economy. Do you think that young people trust creators more than anybody else?
I think they do, but you have to be cautious about what you trust because, you know, there's positivity on social media, but there's also a lot of negative or, you know, sort of obsolete views. But I think, yeah, young people do trust creators a lot more nowadays because they're so easily accessible and almost every young person uses social media, so it's really easy to access them.
Yeah. Now, do you have any creators that you kind of look up to in the space that you're like, I kind of want to take inspiration from them, not necessarily be like them, but take inspiration from them?
In terms of niche, I don't really have a creator in my niche that I look up to, but in terms of value in making my content better, there's a dude on Instagram called minolee.mp4, and his content is really great. It's a lot of, you know, it teaches you how to make your content better, but the way he just tells stories and his storytelling in videos is really engaging and great. So he's a good person to check out in terms of value, making your videos better, and in terms of entertainment, making entertaining videos. There is a guy called, I forgot his name, but he's from the US and he moved to Bosnia with his girlfriend or something, and he bought a €5,000 house and he renovates it, and every episode is a new update to the house. So and he pulls in more than 10 million views a video.
Crazy.
So he's really good at keeping people entertained and engaged in his series. But yeah.
What do you think, out of all the content that you've consumed, what do you think the key is to keeping people engaged?
Obviously, you know, the first 3 seconds of a video is the most important. So coming up with a good hook. I mean, there's free hooks all over social media. You can just type up good hooks or go on Google and just find one that fits your particular video. But coming up with a good hook is the most important part of a video. But just every few couple seconds or during the video include, I don't know, diagrams, pop-ups, sounds, effects or whatever, just to keep people engaged for the whole video. And really knowing how to tell a story is really important, which is quite broad, but just coming up with a good script is really important.
Yeah. How do you come up with your scripts?
I usually, you know, I come up with the video idea and then I come up with a hook, write down the hook, and then I sort of just brain dump what I would want to talk about in that video. And then I put it into ChatGPT and I get it to create me a script. And then I look at that and I refine it to sound like me. You know, the most authentic version of who I am. And then that's how I make my scripts for my videos.
Love. And when you're recording, do you just record it all and just keep it rolling and then just cut it up? If you are loving this episode, don't forget to leave a comment or hit that subscribe button. You have no idea how much it means for podcasters like me to get a like or subscribe, because it means that we can get better guests and we can get into more ears of people to help talk to them about marketing, social media, and personal branding. Now back to the episode.
No, so what I do is like I will print out my script so I don't have to keep going to my laptop or phone, and then I'll just have it on the side, and every line or bit I can remember, I play the video, pause it, once that line's done, play it. So I have a bunch of clips, and then I put it into CapCut and cut it all up and edit it.
Yeah, And do you edit it all on your laptop or your phone?
Laptop.
Yeah. Do you find it easier?
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people choose to edit on their phone and they love it, right?
Yeah.
But you just love it doing it on your laptop.
Yeah.
Love. Now, I want to go into your generation, Gen Z. That's you, right? I think you're the last of Gen Z.
Yeah.
Or like you're on the cusp.
Yeah.
You guys cop a lot of negative, and I was talking to Talia about this. She's Gen Z as well.
Yeah.
You guys cop a lot of like negative criticism about your work ethic and your attitude to work or working for other people. I don't think it's true because I have a team of Gen Z that work for me, and I know so many Gen Zs that are capable. They have a stronger work ethic than most 30-year-olds. You know, what do you think about the criticism that's surrounding Gen Z in your generation?
I think it's very it's mixed because in every generation there's been people who work hard and don't work hard. And in Gen Z there's people like that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, social media, people getting addicted to social media and all these other things happening in the world does lead to a bit more laziness or whatever. But I think there's been people that are lazy in every generation. So I just, you know, because the past generation always has something to talk about negatively about the new generation. And with things evolving, people aren't necessarily more lazy. They're just using the tools given to them, like AI, to be more productive and stuff. So I think, yeah, there's always been lazy people in every generation.
Yeah, I agree. Now, do you think that growing up with, I mean, when I grew up, you know, when I was your age, I grew up with a platform called MySpace that was very different to Instagram, and that was before Facebook. One of the Gen Z girls that works with me, she actually Googled what MySpace was the other day because she had no idea what I was talking about. But we grew up with a platform like that, and then, you know, as I got older, I transitioned onto like Facebook and then Instagram, and then TikTok came around when I was in my 30s, right? So do you think growing up with things like AI and social media and, you know, the ability to have a side hustle whilst you're at school, do you think that gives you an advantage or does that make you a bit more stressed?
I think, well, I'll just go through like TikTok. What was TikTok?
TikTok, like AI
and side hustles.
Yeah.
I think TikTok is mixed because, again, any social media platform, doom scrolling and just being addicted to social media can cause stress because you might have work to do or homework and then you see your phone and you scroll and then 2 hours later you haven't done it. So then that creates more stress. But if you know how to use it properly and, you know, you might make videos or you might use it to, like YouTube, to learn new things, I think is valuable.
Yeah.
And then in terms of AI, I think it makes things a lot less stressful because AI is like a great tool for productivity to keep you productive. A task 10 years ago that would have taken a day will take you 30 minutes now. So I think AI is great for productivity and I think it creates less stress. And side hustles, obviously, mixed, but I think you know, you don't want to get too you don't want to get too consumed by your side hustle to the point where it's not a side hustle or a business, and having balance. But I think you know, it can lead to less financial stress if it, you know, so you can get a meal or something when you're young. But yeah, I think it's mixed. It depends on how you use the platforms and the things.
Yeah, I agree. Now, I think I saw a stat the other day that was Gen Z, or like the generation coming through, like teenagers and early 20s, are spending about 4.5 hours a day on social media. Do you think that social media is like your generation's classroom?
I think it depends because that 4.5 hours could be spent learning something or could be spent, you know, wasting away your life.
Yeah.
So I think if you're using it to learn something like business, finance, AI, or productivity, that sort of stuff, it's really great. But if you're not and you're sort of just using it to not be productive and learn things. It can be a tool against you. But in terms of today's classroom, I think school gives you those base skills like science, math, English, that sort of stuff, which you do need in the world. But it doesn't teach, again, those real world skills that you'll bring into the real world.
Yeah.
So I think it is today's classroom in a way for those kids that want to learn things that aren't taught in school, like business, finance, that sort of stuff.
It's kind of bridging that gap, so
Yeah.
to speak, for a minute, like
Yeah.
if people choose to. But it's not really kind of mandated for
Yeah.
them to do, right? Now, what do your friends think about what you're building?
A lot of them, to be honest, don't really bat an eye. I do my thing, they do their own thing. But a lot of them think the education system is pretty bad. Almost all my peers hate school. Like, I think a lot of people hated school or hate school. But yeah, and they think it's great. And people I've talked to, because at the moment I'm doing customer conversations, which is talking to my like ideal customer, which is teenagers, sort of 12 to 19 years old, from people from all over the world, again, through social media and, emails and Zoom calls. But and we're just talking about, I use it to refine the site, how it looks. I use it to refine the business, pricing, that sort of stuff. So yeah, I think
what's one of the biggest things that you've learned from speaking to those customers or those ideal customers?
That a lot of times you think something is perfect, but it's not, because I might think a part of how the design looks perfect or a part of the business model is perfect, but when you talk to people that aren't people who are close to you and who are your customers, you find a lot of problems in your business. That's why I think customer conversations are really great.
Yeah, I agree. They're really important and they're crucial, because otherwise you kind of just work in this silo of I'm going to do it, and then you put it out to the world and you're like, why does nobody love it?
Yeah.
Now, what advice would you have for kids like you? Like, if there's a kid that's listening to this, or someone maybe older that's like, I really want to start my business, but I've procrastinated or put it off because I'm worried I'm going to fail, or I'm worried it's going to flop, or worried I'm going to waste my time. What advice would you give to somebody like that?
I think you're not wasting your time. I mean, my grip socks business at the start when I was younger failed and we lost money. But I think you're not wasting time, because in any way, if you fail, you're still learning skills, like the base skills of business and content creation. But I think it's, people might call you cringy, but I think you should just do it, because it's not going to be, it's going to benefit you. If someone saying that the business isn't going to work doesn't have anything to do with you, it's not going to benefit you. So wasting your time, I don't think it wastes your time. I think even if it flops, you still learn a lot.
Yeah, I agree. Now, before we get into quick fire questions at the end of this podcast, if I gave you the microphone, well, I'm giving you the microphone now, and there's the Minister of Education on the other side of this microphone that looks after all of the education system in Australia, and you had 60 seconds, what would you tell them?
I would tell him that if they really analysed how students felt, they would see that a lot of students hated school, and they were getting a lot of their information from YouTube, from Instagram, from TikTok. So I would say to him, you have to teach more of those real world skills, because the world is ever evolving, it's always changing, and school not changing as the world's changing is a big missed opportunity. Because as I said, if you don't know how to use AI, you're going to be left behind. The creator-led economy, new tech, business, coding, all that sort of stuff. So school not teaching that is causing pain to the kids when they're older because they're just going to have to learn it themselves. And school is supposed to be a place of learning, but we're learning skills that would have helped us 50 years ago, not now. So I think it's really important that kids learn those skills to set them up for the future.
Yeah, it's crucial.
Yeah.
It's really crucial. Now, I am going to pop some details around how people can find your business in the show notes so that there'll be a link to find Finkel in the show notes. Before we get into quickfire, I do want to touch on something. Now, a lot of people that would be listening to this would go, you're 13 years old, surely like your mum and dad are helping you out and doing all of the heavy lifting and the work. How much are mum and dad involved?
0. I mean, they drive me to places, but I mean, when I started my grip stocks company, they were heavily involved. But I mean, for this business, they've helped me like moral support and stuff, but they haven't helped at all in terms of the business. Yes, they've helped me, you know, with the site, critiquing it, making it look better, stuff like that, you know, telling me what changes I should make, giving me advice, feedback, but almost everything else, almost everything in the business and content is all me. So yeah.
I am quickly interrupting to let you know that all of the good stuff lives in our emails. Cheat sheets, exclusive events, workshops that we run for our community that are centered around marketing, social media and personal branding. You can sign up for our emails in the show notes. Back to the episode. Do you think that having, and I liken this to my own experience when I started my business, I feel like the only reason I felt comfortable enough to start my business was because my parents were so supportive of what I did. And they were like, doesn't matter if you fail, like just try it. And they provided this environment for me that was so supportive that even if I did fail, I wouldn't feel like a failure. Do you think that that's really, really crucial for young people starting businesses?
Yeah, having a good support system is really important because, you know, you want to give up a lot of the time, especially when you're young, because you just want to be a kid. And I balance, like I still have a social life. I still, you know, have good health and stuff. But I think having a good support system to give you advice and help you when you're struggling or whatever is really important, especially in young people.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you have that. I also just wanted to clear that up because I know that there'll always be someone out there that's like, oh, it's not him, he's just the face of it, right? And it's just like, no, let's shut those haters down before they get ahead of themselves.
Yeah.
Now, lastly, before we get into quickfire, I want you to give people that are listening 1 to 3 reasons as to why they should check out Finkel.
Yeah. Number 1, you're learning real world skills that you don't learn in school, which is, well, not necessarily you don't learn in school. School rarely touches on it or it's very outdated. So you're learning those real world skills, such as business, finance, entrepreneurship, tech, AI, coding, even anything from mindset to productivity, and content creation because we're in the creator-led economy. So, and a lot of teens want to learn that now. So, if your kid isn't learning those skills, in the future they'll be left behind. So I think that's really important for the next generation to learn, and parents should know that too. Number 2, you're not only learning those skills, you're learning them from people who are great and amazing at what they do. They've done it before, and they've really got a grasp on the topic. So it's not, you know, a teacher. It's more someone who's really had hands-on, first-hand experience, and done amazing things in their field. And number 3, you're in a community with other like-minded teens that are wanting to do the same thing as you, trade stocks or build a business or learn AI, or be more productive. So I think being in a community with those like-minded teens is really important, and that's just another support system they can have and a way to connect with teens all around the world. So that's really important.
I love that. Now I've got some quick fire questions for you. You don't have to answer them quickly. I always tell people, I'm like, don't worry, you don't have to speak quickly. Quick pause for a second. I just want to quickly interrupt to ask you one thing. If you are loving the content that you are listening to, make sure you hit subscribe or leave a review. I want to keep these podcast episodes ad-free for as long as possible, and the only way that I can do that is by you guys subscribing or leaving a great review or sharing it with a friend. So that's all I ask of you today. Now back to the episode. Quick fire questions. First one, what is one brand that is top of mind for you?
Nike.
Why?
Cutthroat marketing. They're really great at their marketing. You know, Nike, 2 syllables, like it's a great name, great marketing, just do it. It's memorable. So I think Nike's really good at marketing and building a product that resonates with people, but also people remember.
Yeah, they're a legacy brand, aren't
Yeah.
they? What is the best piece of advice that you've ever received?
Probably just to start
Yeah.
a business and start posting on social media, and don't listen to people that will get in your way. And also, you know, the 80-20 rule. Frank told me this. 20% of what you do gets you 80% of your results. And that's really important, and people should know that. So you don't spend time doing things that are won't help your business at all. So really focusing and niching down on that 20%.
Love. What is the worst piece of advice you've ever received?
Quit.
Love. Who told you to quit?
People on social media.
Yeah. No, we don't listen to them.
Yeah.
Fourth question is, what is one thing that you think that helps keep a business or a brand top of mind?
Having good, of course, marketing, but also being able to connect with an audience, not necessarily just being a good product, resonating with people, and people know who you are because of your marketing, not necessarily your product, just because people resonate with your product. So yeah, I think that's what's really good.
I love that. What is one quote, only because I love quotes, what's one quote that's top of mind for you?
I'm trying to remember it. I think it was fortune. Fortune favors the brave.
Yep.
So, you know, people that are brave and post that video, start that business, will get success later on in life. It might not be from that particular social media account, from that business, but yeah, fortune favors the brave. So I think that's a really good quote.
Is it something that you remind yourself of daily?
Yeah.
When you're posting?
Yeah.
Like, I just got to get this out.
Yeah.
I love it. Last question from me is 10 years from now, you'll be 23 or 24. Yeah. What do you hope that people say about Alby?
That it wasn't necessarily cringy, that it was just like people wish they did it when they were my age. And people know that Finkel was, or any business I started, it might not be Finkel, but any business was successful, and that I wasn't cringy. I was just trying to build a product that can help people and teens.
Love that. And you are certainly not cringy. I don't think you're cringy. And everyone that I have showed or introduced to you, they're like, that kid is cool, and like he's just going for it. Like, you're doing things, most things that most fully grown adults that have lived a life double yours wouldn't even dream of doing because they're too scared. So I think that you're extremely brave. I think that you're very inspiring, and I think that your parents must be incredibly proud of you, because even just listening to you speak about what you're doing and why you're doing it, you can see how passionate about it you are.
Yeah.
How passionate you are about it. My words are going. Yeah. But I just think that one of the biggest things that you've taught me in the last hour that we've been talking is, if you don't go for it, you'll never know.
Yeah.
And I just think that that's so inspiring for so many young people, but also just anybody, because if you don't try, you'll never know. So thank you so much for joining me. I cannot wait to watch your product grow, your business grow, your brand grow, and see what it is in 10 years' time.
Thank you.
Woohoo!